Hello, I'm Matt Ricardo and you're about to watch my interview with Paul Daniels. This was recorded in front of a live audience at the Leicester Square Theatre here in London. If you enjoy it and if you want to see more stuff like it, then just click the logo in the corner of the screen there and subscribe to my channel. But for now, here's Paul Daniels.
He is one of the last surviving links between the working men's club, the old school variety and new school television.
Didn't they used to do Every Second Counts?
I think I'd probably get a little bit shy when I get to meet him.
Makes me think of my childhood and magic and stuff. And
when variety was really dying, the Paul Daniels show kept variety.
He was fun to meet. And his wife. Yeah.
Paul Daniels, the king of magic in the UK.
Legend of the utmost quality, worldwide legend, that man.
Paul Daniels is the reason why everyone currently working in show business works in show business.
And Debbie McGee, the princess, ironically married to the king. That's not right.
A legend.
Such an influence, I think, on modern circus of today, and people don't realise.
Yeah, Every Second Counts, Paul Daniels. Da 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 da.
One of the most important people in entertainment in years.
So how long have you been doing that exact routine?
52 years.
52 years.
Yeah.
Honed.
The first 2.5 years of me turning professional, I only had 18 nights off. And that's where you learn your trade.
Yeah.
And I learned, and it was great.
So I found a really nice quote from you as I was researching this. A magic show is a play about a man who can do anything.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Got to be able to do anything, he said, didn't he? Yeah, that's what he said.
So how did you find magic?
It's one of them things, I just got hooked on it. You don't know why. Were you kissed on the cheek by the goddess Marja? Or were you bitten on the bum by the magic bug? You know, it's just up to you. So what I did was, I made my act, I did 3 tricks in the act. That was one of them, cup on the ball. And in the first trick, I talked about the 2 tricks I was going to do. In the middle trick, I talked about the trick I'd done and the one I was going to do. Oh. And in this trick, I talked about those 2 I'd just done. And when I came off, Johnny Hamp walked up to me and he says, I can't figure out whether you're very clever or very lucky, because he said, I can't edit that. And I said, I was shocked. I said, well, what edit? What does that mean? You know, whereas I've been brought up in a cinema, and when I went to work on TV, I deliberately set out and read production manuals and books and found out what was what. And so he took the risk, and he showed me on Saturday night prime time for 12 minutes. And the next morning, I was a star. It was as simple as that. I was invited back, I did 15 minutes, and I walked off after that, and he came up to me and he says, you're not lucky, are you? Which was great for me, yeah, really good. Yeah.
So let's talk about the Paul Daniels Magic Show.
Yeah.
It ran for 15 years?
16.
16.
Who's counting?
I think what's interesting, let's say 20. For me, obviously it's important to me personally, but it started in 1979, finished 1995?
95, 96, because they got a guy in to run the BBC called Alan Yento. He made himself into being a presenter, which is really weird.
Yes.
And he's the only man I've ever seen on television who can make Vegas boring. He's just extraordinary. And he said to the press, he said, Paul Daniels doesn't like me because I got rid of his program. And the press, of course, then come to me, and that's just not true. I didn't like him before he got rid of the program, you know, which is true.
You are responsible for the largest number of original tricks performed on television in history.
I guess so.
Including, you vanished £1 million of Robert Maxwell's money literally from under his nose.
No, it wasn't his money. It was
it not his
Barclays
money?
Bank.
Oh, Barclays Bank.
Robert Maxwell was there because he brought with him a lot of press people.
Right.
And I actually said on the floor, look, you guys, I did this several times over the years. If you see anything happening on the screen when this show goes out that you didn't see happen here, if you see an edit or anything like that, well, you tell the world, because we never ever did a camera trick. And Barclays wouldn't actually lend us the money to begin with. £1 million. We had bodyguards everywhere and all that. And I said, I want £1 million with Barclays security as well as our own, and if you don't give us that, I'm pulling all my accounts out. So they lent us the money, and it was good, vanishing £1 million, completely surrounded by guards. And the funny thing was, the letters that I got from the producer said, could I vanish £1 million? There was no mention of bringing it back. There's a film there, because I worked out how to get it out of the studio. Yeah, really good, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to throw some names at you of other magicians to get maybe a one-word opinion on them. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay, Penn and Teller.
Great. You go and see the Penn and Teller show, you will have a great time. But ignore the big guy, the little guy. He's the genius. But he's a genius on all levels. They're both bloody intelligent, but that little and Teller, and that's his name. He doesn't have his first name or a second name. He doesn't have a first name at all, just Teller. That's his official name, Teller. And he really is, on the arts, on cinema, on literature, he's a great guy. But they're a great act, one of the greatest, yeah.
Okay, David Blaine.
David Blaine. Now, David Blaine is a real mixture for me. I've never seen him live, and I always wait to see people live. I never form opinions now on television, because production companies are using all the techniques to bring about the effect. And I think that's wrong. If you can't do it, you shouldn't be there. And I don't like stooges either. You know, that's pretty easy to stooge anybody up. But David Blaine, I met him for the first time last year when we were doing a television broadcast to about 72 countries live. And I had David on this side and Dynamo on this side, which is a bit like putting a pair of stereo glasses on. You know, they look alike, don't they? Yeah. And David is not the look at the hand. He's not that. He's a happy guy, loves photography. He was interesting, curious about history. He was, you know, he was active, not at all like his persona on television. So I like him. Dynamo, I like Dynamo. Great card juggler. Yeah. You know, but I think he suffers a little bit from being honed into only the close-up scene, like so many magicians are. They're honed into this is one area of magic, the close-up scene. So when they ask him to go out and do other stuff, all of them, all the ones I've seen, have to be helped, which is a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah. You know more than most about how variety is presented on television, how to do it, you know? So what's your opinion on the current state of variety on television?
Well, the problem has been, over the last lot of years, is that they put all the impressionists in one show and all the singers in another show and all the magicians in another show. That's what they've done. And they use this thing, this word, which didn't exist when I was coming through, and it's called demographics. There's no demographic in variety. Variety appeals. Look around here. Look at all the ages you've got here, you know, and that's great. And this is what variety should be, and it should be on TV, appealing right across. Now, how do you do it? How do you shoot it? Well, just because you've got technology, you don't have to use it. I used to fight like hell because they had this big crane come in to the studio over the heads of the audience. You know, what's that? When did you fly into a club in a helicopter? You never did, you know? And there was a great film director, Billy, and he would never shoot anything unless the camera was at eye level. Okay, never. So because that's where people look. So for me, don't jump about all over the place. Let the act entertain, and don't try to improve it with bad camera work. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming to the end of our time.
Well, when I'm king, you do know it's all going to change.
Of course. I expect to be in your court.
Okay.
So you're still working?
This is the place. I'm like a fish in the water up here. I have no fears. And I'm bored now, so I'm going.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Daniels. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.